We remember that when the government was trying to sell subsidy removal to Nigerians, part of that package was that we will save the money, what we ought to have been paying on subsidy. We will save it in a special program that would go into addressing certain things. So it didn't come after the brouhaha, it came before the brouhaha. It was part of the, package, the sales package in Nigeria. But
that was the package.
We also remember that because subsidy was only partially removed, not so much money was, not the money earmarked for it, finally, all the money, I think, earmarked for it finally went to it. Maybe they got like half the money or possibly even less. The question is, you think that could have affected the program itself from foundation?
You perhaps remember that I was one of those people who believe that we don't have subsidy in real sense. It is Nigerians subsidizing corruption. We've been borne out by events that have unfolded over the years, that even on this set, I had opportunity to state that even after all the ululations, that Nigerians will be given some change, refund, so to speak, from what we were paying if we did our arithmetic right and we were able to exclude corruption, even to a certain percentage. But we find that everybody is feasting on oil. It's just like when you have maggots feasting on a piece of decaying material. There is no space for oxygen. So the problem in Nigeria is that everybody is feasting on oil because it is a cheap way of making money. And people who are already there don't let go. They are ready to kill. So what you find is that they come up with different programs. Some of those apostles of Shopee may have meant well, but they are not working with people who are so sincere. So you find from day one, there is something already built in, a mechanism to make the program fail. It is not something to cheer that perhaps out of about maybe 1 million Nigerian university graduates, you pick 6 and make them millionaires. That's an individual thing. And there is no certainty that these 6 Nigerians will be able to multiply jobs to 38 other graduates. Because profit motive is that you maximize profit and reduce your costs, if it is possible. So this is another area. Look at the issue of skills acquisition and the program on itself. How can it be sustained? We are looking, a doctor does not need to have suffered from malaria to recognize it during the process of diagnosis. If you see a good program and you have experience, you know it is implementable. That's why if you take certain projects to bank, they say it's not bankable. But you have written an essay.
Some people will ask you, did you think the program was workable? Was it necessary in the very first instance? Because it was supposed to address maternal and child mortality. It was supposed to address infrastructure deficit.
That?
So the question is, what were the ministries supposed to do in the very first instance?
Duplication. That is why we said that that was an interventionist program intended to douse the tension. It's a psychological ploy. Some people may have meant that it could work. Don't remove from that, okay? But those who are actually the core movers know what is in it for them. So it's just like when you come to a church, a congregation, okay? The pastor may have a different motive from the congregation, but they all say amen when the man prays because he will say nice things. But in his mind, perhaps he's targeting their purse.
Mr. Nnaji,
don't misunderstand me, but these are facts of life.
Mr. Nnaji,
yes.
When we had that hue and cry over the subsidy, the protest and all that, the National Assembly appeared to take the side of the people. Now, they also appear to be behind the Shopee program. Looking at the way it's gone so far, do you think the National Assembly is not, what do you think about their role so far in monitoring the effectiveness of this Shopee program?
Well, I don't know how much capacity the National Assembly has to effectively monitor this type of program. You see, when you look at the P program document is so elaborate. So elaborate that it is not possible to even address these things in 4 years.
Is it possible that the Short P program might have been planned before the protest? Is it a predetermined intervention?
What I'm saying is, I don't want to get involved into the origin. I mean, when it started and when it... I see it more as an intervention. Something, let them hold on to this thing and go back so that we have some from fresh air. You understand? Then we can now begin to work. After all, if you look at the Ministry of Transportation, the railways, the waterways, the roads and all that, these are the primary responsibilities of the Ministry of Transport. But they are essentially engrafted in the Short P program. So, and it is managed by a board, not the ministry. So the minister, is he going to have a monitoring team for a project he could not influence? Even if he's a member of the Short P, he's not the board chairman, nor even the vice chairman.
But it's all, I think all of this, sorry here, is almost similar to when we had the PTF, the Petroleum Trust Fund. We remember then that they embarked on a whole lot of projects, even in the hospitals, drug revolving funds for most of the pharmacies in the hospitals, and we saw loads and loads of roads that were fixed from the PTF. For some individuals here, he says that he traveled all the way from Owerri, from Abuja to Owerri via Enugu, and the road was 80% motorable. That's from Chika Ukwe. And he says, well, it's as a result of the Short P that those roads were actually fixed. So in other words, even though we have the ministries and we also have the Short program, well, the issue of duplicating tasks or duties is still very much diverse to the extent that you know what Short P has done and what the supposed ministry should be doing.
When you say a road is motorable, is that the end of that Short P? We are looking for roads that are good. Motorable means that in a pothole you can put sand, okay, and reduce the ditches and the gullies that have littered in fact, even from Enugu to Onitsha, part of the expressway. Perhaps if it is like that for the next 6 months, some people will begin to build kiosks on the expressway. It is that bad. You no longer know that that was a road. I don't know where you can envision what I'm, visualize what I'm saying. There is no road on that, so that if you're talking about patching, you just can't patch anything because there is no road. So they have abandoned that side and everybody is on one lane, and that has escalated the state level of accidents. Okay? The other day, perhaps you had how one trailer killed how many people on Onitsha Bridge, the new bridge they are constructing. So the point is that this Short P is supposed to be interventionist. The PTF you mentioned was operated during the military, and they didn't have any National Assembly to contend with. Once they viewed something that they needed to do, they went ahead and did it. And of course, you saw the frenetic way that program was able to make some, I don't know how much they put in there. Perhaps money could also be part of, but when you are being dragged by the contention that maybe this thing is not coming from revenue, approved by National Assembly, or this one is coming from... So you have that problem. Yes, but why do you make such an elaborate thing? Focus on one area, intervene, and everybody will see that this is one area you have done. Finish with that. If it is still possible, get into the other one. Instead of duplicating, when you are duplicating, there's a budget for the ministry, and then there's still money for Short P.